Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody is doing well. Got something that I want to share with y'all, and this is a story that was broke a couple days ago by Mike Glover. At least that's how I found out about it. But I wanted to do a little bit of my own take on it, and I wanted to share some information with you guys in regards to this subject. Seems like it's pretty interesting. A lot of people are taking it into consideration, so I felt like it would be fitting for us to discuss it here at Palmetto Dissonant Channel. So let's get right into it. So the title of the video, as you saw, obviously that raises some questions, right? So why am I saying that? Well, there were two Mexican nationals in the United States on non-immigrant visas arrested during a traffic stop in Colorado last month while transporting 180,000 rounds of ammunition. So that's kind of wild, right? 180,000 rounds. Anybody that's been around guns a good bit, that's into the Second Amendment type of stuff, you guys understand just how much ammunition that really is. That's a pretty significant amount of ammunition when you get right down to it. That's not something that should be taken lightly. So, Cesar Ramon Martinez Salas, 41 years old, and Humberto Ivan Amador Gavira, 24 years old, both of Mexico, were pulled over in Canaan City on March 26th, the U.S. Attorney's Office, District of Colorado said in a news release. Two Fremont County detectives had spotted a white Chevrolet van passing them without dimming its headlights. Pretty minor thing to get pulled over for, but again, it worked out well for us and for the authorities because this is what they ended up uncovering as a result of just a seemingly minor traffic infraction. Anyway, so that is a violation of state law according to an arrest affidavit obtained by the Canaan City Daily Record. So the detective said the van was had also failed to signal when turning into a gas station and had a defective license plate lamp, right? So they found a few minor things that led to the traffic stop, right? That's how it goes. During the traffic stop, the detectives discovered approximately 150 boxes of .308 caliber ammunition and approximately 30 boxes of 7.62 ammunition. And I'm assuming that they're talking about 7.62 by 39 when they say that. So each box was labeled as containing 1,000 rounds each. So pretty significant haul of ammunition there. I got some photos and stuff I'll roll in for you guys. That way you can kind of see a photo of the back of this van. I mean, it's stuffed, as you can see right here. Martinez Solis agreed to speak with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security special agents and waive his right to an attorney, according to the affidavit. Okay, if that's what you want to do, big dog, go ahead. We'll take it. Martinez Solis told authorities that he and Amador Garcia, whom he claimed was his brother-in-law, had traveled from Mexico to Denver a day earlier to purchase a vehicle before driving to Salt Lake City to look at another vehicle he was interested in buying. Okay, whatever. In Salt Lake City, the men stopped at a firearms and ammunition store where Amador Garcia bought the ammunition, according to the affidavit. It's early. I need some more coffee. So they just went to the store and picked up 180,000 rounds. Pack it in the van. Let's ride. All right. That's kind of wild. A lot of places, man. Like if I wanted to source 180,000 rounds right now, I don't even know where I could go and get it, especially in such high quantities in just two specific calibers. And it could be a situation where they're saying 7.62. It could be a situation where the ammo in the other crates is actually 7.62 by 51 or 7.62 NATO. I don't know. They didn't really clarify that. I wish they had. They just said 7.62, which leaves a lot of gray area there, right? That could be a lot of different things, a lot of different 30 caliber cartridges. So I wish they would have clarified that. If anybody's got any information on that, by all means, feel free to comment and share that for clarification purposes. But all I can go off of is what they're saying, and it's just not perfectly clear at this point in time. But anyway, it is what it is, right? It's 180,000 rounds of rifle ammunition, centerfire rifle ammunition. So they're saying, so this is the guy's testimony because he decided that he wanted to talk to law enforcement, Martinez Solis. He further explained that he did not know the intent with the ammunition, but that he believed it was destined for Pueblo, the affidavit stated. Pueblo is a city in Colorado located about 113 miles south of Denver, for what that's worth. Solis added that the intended destination was on Amador Garcia's phone, according to the affidavit. Authorities did not specify the destination, so they're not really discussing that publicly. Martinez Solis and Amador Garcia were both charged with unlawful possession of ammunition by alien admitted under a non-immigrant visa. That's a lot. So that's what they were charged with as a result of this stop. The Denver Field Office of Homeland Security Investigations and the Fremont County Sheriff's Office are investigating the case with help from the Denver Field Office of the ATF. Officials said the case is part of Operation Take Back America, a federal initiative designed to repel the invasion of illegal immigration, achieve the total elimination of cartels and transnational criminal organizations, right? So that's what I got, and that's from Fox News, right? So I will post that link for you guys to go over there and check out that story. Of course, a quick Google search will probably net you more results than that if you're interested in consuming some of this information on your own and doing your own investigation, so to speak. So now, another case that I thought was quite interesting and seems to be eerily related. Prosecutor challenges release of twice deported man with 18,000 rounds of ammo. So a federal prosecutor last week challenged the release of a twice deported Mexican immigrant accused of carrying 18,000 rounds of ammunition through Wyoming. The bust indicates cartel activity, the prosecutor argued. And I got this particular story from Cowboy State Daily. I'll post a link to it as well, just to give credit to the folks who done all the journalism on these particular pieces. So they're saying that he was accused of running 18,000 rounds of high caliber ammunition through Wyoming. Ricardo Paez Quinones, 35 years old, was arrested in March after Wyoming Highway Patrol Trooper Nathaniel Philpott pulled him over for speeding on Interstate 80 near Rawlins. Then spotted several rounds of ammunition in Quinones' vehicle, court documents say. Charged in March with being an illegal alien in possession of ammunition, Paez Quinones could face up to 15 years in prison and a $250,000 fine and or deportation if convicted. Again, he's already been deported twice, according to some authorities. An evidentiary affidavit says that a Carbon County Sheriff's Office deputy and a K-9 officer arrived at the March 12th traffic stop. So this was on March 12th, 2025. And the dog alerted to the scent of drugs in the vehicle. Investigators then searched the vehicle and found 36 boxes of 500 rounds of high caliber ammunition and some cocaine. Okay, the document says. The ammunition boxes bore the name Precision Made Cartridges, and the label indicated the caliber was 7.62 by 51 NATO. There we go. So they were very specific in this particular article about what it was that he had. 18,000 rounds of 7.62 by 51 NATO. That's a pretty good haul. That's nothing to sneeze at. So investigators also found large amounts of cash, says the document. The affidavit says Paez Quinones' fingerprints bore a positive match to a removed alien by the same name who was deported in 2012 and in 2014. So he's been in and out of the country, right? A frequent flyer. Been deported twice. And here he is again, smuggling or transporting ammunition inside of the United States of America. Large amounts of ammunition. Very, very, very interesting. So let's see what else we got. Assistant U.S. Attorney Cameron Cook of Wyoming argued in a motion last week that Paez Quiñonez's actions indicate that he's contributing to drug cartel operations. It would appear to be the case. The prosecutor is arguing the case judge to bring Paez Quiñonez back to jail to be detained while he awaits trial. The judge has not yet ruled on that request. So, he's out right now. He's released. U.S. Chief Magistrate Judge Scott Klosterman, at a March 21st detention hearing, set Paez Quiñonez's bond at $20,000 unsecured, meaning Quiñonez could get out of jail without having to post the money up front. Wow, he just signed out and walked out. Good to go. Twice deported. Okay. Quiñonez was then released. The U.S. Attorney's Office for Wyoming confirmed Tuesday via his spokeswoman. The magistrate ordered Quiñonez, who reported a home address out of Colorado Springs, to appear for court in Cheyenne on May 27th. Assistant U.S. Attorney Cameron Cook filed a motion last week arguing the case judge to overturn the magistrate's permissive bond arrangement. So they're trying to get this guy put back in. He admitted to being an illegal alien who was a citizen of Mexico. He asserted he worked with another person to obtain the ammunition and that the ammunition would eventually be going to Mexico. So pretty forthcoming about some information. Whether it's true or not, we don't really know. No way to substantiate that. We just can just look at what he's saying. But he is saying some stuff. He is talking. All right. They said that he has lived and worked in Colorado for about 3 years. He also admitted to using cocaine the day of his arrest. Imagine that. So this is kind of crazy. And then they turned him loose, right? So that's wild. He is automatically okay. So the prosecutor walked carefully. 10th Circuit Court of Appeals precedent says the man isn't automatically a flight risk and subject to a higher bond because he's a deportable alien. But that does not mean that immigration status is irrelevant, wrote Cook. All right, so this is kind of wild, right? So we got Mexican nationals inside of the United States of America transporting pretty substantial quantities of centerfire rifle ammunition, and one of them has been deported twice, and they released them on bond. So that's kind of crazy. There's been a lot of speculation as to what's going on or why this is happening. And these are just the two cases that we know about, right? Maybe could say there's some luck involved in this. Maybe law enforcement have been watching these guys and they're not disclosing that information based on some larger scale ongoing investigation. We don't really know. But this raises some red flags, to say the least. We can look at it from the standpoint of maybe or potentially this is an indicator that cartels are preparing for some sort of a kinetic action within the United States, possibly. Maybe it's true that they were looking to transport the ammunition back into Mexico for some sort of action that they may be planning down there with inside of Mexico, or maybe even to target U.S. forces at the border. Like, we could look at this any number of ways, but it's all speculation at this point in time. But what I can say, at least in my opinion, is that this is something that needs to be monitored. And if we caught two of these guys or three individuals in two separate cases transporting, 198,000, almost 200,000 rounds of centerfire rifle ammunition within our borders, then it begs the question, how many more operations like this are going on inside of our country that we are not aware of, and what exactly is the end game? And that's something that I think we need to keep an eye on, and we need to remain vigilant, of course, and be prepared to respond to different situations that might find their way into our communities and our neighborhoods. That's just the way it is, because law enforcement seems to be doing a pretty good job at cracking down on this stuff, especially with the designation of these cartels as foreign terror organizations. A lot more resources have been allocated, money-wise and material support-wise, etc. That's great, but they're going to miss stuff, guys. You know, they can't be everywhere at all times. So, you know, keep your eyes peeled and continue to stay up to date on this different information that's out here. There was one speculation that Mike Glover mentioned in one of his videos on this subject the other day, and he was making the reference to El Chapo being in prison, in Florence, Colorado. So there was some speculation or discussion about maybe this was something that was going to be utilized to perform some sort of a prison break to extract El Chapo from ADX Florence, which is a supermax prison located in Florence, Colorado. I mean, it is kind of, I guess, in the same region. I hadn't pulled it up on a map or anything, but Colorado is Colorado, right? It's pretty close, or at least close enough. It is in the same state. And then you got some stuff going on over here in Wyoming. So that could be, there could be some truth to that. That could be a valid assessment. Maybe this is going to be a setback for them if that's something that they were planning, or maybe this could all be a distraction. Who knows, right? You got to kind of look at it. You can't get trapped in the bubble when you're assessing these situations, because you might end up missing something. And this could have been something that they wanted us to find, right? Maybe this was just a couple guys that they sent out there as a diversion to get people looking over here while they got something else going on, right? Stranger things have happened. But I mean, that is a pretty hefty amount of ammunition. There's been speculation about maybe particularly they were looking to feed some belt-fed machine guns, maybe link up the ammo and feed some belt-feds. That would be something that could be pretty devastating, right? Because we know that the cartels have access to a whole scale of weaponry that is highly restricted for folks like me and you as American citizens. But that doesn't stop them from having access to these different arms, machine guns, and so on and so forth. Hell, probably even explosives, hand grenades, etc. They seem to be pretty resourceful when it comes to getting their hands on all different types of armament. Whereas we are bound by things like the National Firearms Act and so forth. But it is what it is. That's just the state of the game. And these guys don't really play by any rules, not anyone's rules, not the rules of their own country, not the rules of our country. They just don't tend to care. They do their thing, and that's just the way it is. But to me, this kind of seems a little bit wild, and I'm not necessarily sure exactly what they're cooking up. But I do want to mention or reiterate that I don't think that it's outside of the realm of possibility that these folks were designed or meant to be apprehended and caught and investigated to potentially throw authorities off the trail of something that is more orchestrated, that is actually being done potentially behind the scenes while everybody's looking at this. These guys are over here actually getting ready to kick something off. And it could be something like just some sort of a mass shooting style attack, or Mumbai style attack, right? Where you got multiple actors and perpetrators armed to the teeth, and they are just going about shooting shit up, for lack of a better term. And that could definitely be devastating as well. I hope none of that's true. I don't want anything like that to happen. But to think that the cartels are not going to retaliate to all of the things that have been implemented by the Trump administration, especially designating them as terrorist organizations and unleashing the different resources from the military and intelligence apparatuses on them, I think they may be looking for some get back at some point and to some degree. Where that'll come, how that'll come, who knows? But this is definitely something that I will be keeping an eye on, and I want to share with you guys. So I appreciate y'all being here. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure you hit the buttons, like, subscribe. Feel free to share this video with other people who you think it might be beneficial to, and continue to support us here and help us to grow the channel. And let's get the views and the likes up, and let's get this in front of some more people. And let's get the algorithm to continue to promote the content. I'll see you guys. I'm out.